Hey, you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the north. More specifically, we are in Shiloh, Illinois, and the goal for today is to make it home. We may be rolling in a little bit after my bedtime, but I'm pretty determined. I really am fairly homesick. It's been a month, I think, since I have been home, and I'm really looking forward to it. Now, normally October is the month that I spend the least amount of time at home. It's usually I'm out traveling everywhere, doing state fairs, doing haunts. But this year, I think I may stick around the mountains, stick around that western North Carolina, East Tennessee area a little more this October, because man, it's been a whirlwind. It's been a whirlwind year, as a matter of fact, and I've done so much filming this summer, so much filming this September, so much traveling, so much being out there on that long, lonesome road that I'm still going to keep filming, but I'm just maybe going to stick a little more towards my home base this October. I do have a road trip out of the area very soon, but as the month as a whole, we may be looking at not driving quite as far from home as I have been. But yeah, so goal here, make it home tonight. It's still a long way, but I think we can make it. Of course, there's always time to stop and see fun things along the way. So stopped off here at Norm's Bargain Barn here in Shiloh, Illinois. And you see they have some Clydesdales over here. Some fiberglass Clydesdales. But they also have a space alien. And this isn't just for funsies. This is actually a monument to a confirmed UFO sighting. This occurred January 5th, 2000 at 4:23 a.m. It says Shiloh police officer David Martin reported a floating object with 3 bright lights in the sky above Shiloh. That one has a few more bright lights, but it's close. This other witness said the UFO floated slowly and had no engine noise. And it says that Lebanon, Shiloh, Millstadt, and Dupo police officers, so we're talking about 4 different law enforcement agencies, reported seeing the UFO. And it says National Geographic TV later televised a special report on the UFO sightings over Shiloh. Now, this isn't something I was aware of already. I am interested in UFOs. I don't know all the different sightings. So this is definitely one that I'm going to have to do some research on. Maybe watch, maybe find that National Geographic report and learn more about the UFOs over Shiloh. There's also a couch over here. You want to sit and take a rest. But we don't have time to rest on this couch. We got to get back on that long, lonesome road. Oh wait, that's not all. Not only do we have confirmed UFO sightings here in Shiloh, Illinois, we also have tales of Sasquatch. A lot of paranormal stuff happening in the little town of Shiloh, Illinois here. Let's see. Village of Shiloh was originally called 3 Springs because of 3 nearby springs. The Tamara Indians often camped near the springs for a source of water. Folklore from 1785, so dating way back, mentions Indians seeing a hairy wild man and his son roaming near the springs. This monument was erected in honor of the first sighting of Sasquatch and baby Sasquatch in Shiloh. So there we see Sasquatch and Sasquatch's son, who is a dead ringer, an absolute dead ringer for his father. UFOs and Bigfoot, it's all here in Shiloh, Illinois. And right across from Norm's Bargain Barn, we do have the Shiloh Police Department. This is the police department that reported, I guess there were 4 different police departments, but this one reported seeing the UFO. Interesting, when there's multiple people, especially people in law enforcement that presumably are trustworthy, that make the report, add some credence to it. And we have stopped off here in the town of Metropolis, Illinois. As you can see right there, they have Superman on the sign. Of course, in the comic books, Superman lived and worked in the city of Metropolis. And the town of Metropolis here has long associated itself with the superhero. We were actually in Kansas yesterday. Technically, Superman wasn't born in Metropolis. He was born in Smallville, Kansas. Although I don't think Smallville is an actual town, but Metropolis is an actual town. And I wanted to stop by here. It was on the way, but I wanted to stop by because the recent Superman movie, I loved that movie. I adored that movie so much. I've really not been very hot on any sort of superhero movie in a long time. Kind of on off with the superhero movies. When I was a little kid, Batman with Michael Keaton came out, and at the time that was the best movie I'd ever seen. I loved that movie so much. Michael Keaton's Batman meant so much to me as a kid. I actually got so into Batman, they were replaying the old 60s Batman on television at the time. So every day after school, I would rush home and watch that 1960s Batman, which still held up. One of the best shows ever. It's great because kids think it's awesome, and then adults can appreciate it for the more campy aspects of it. Still one of the best shows ever created. But Superman, Superman was with DC. Marvel Comics in the past decade or two, Marvel Comics has kind of been on top. And I never really got into the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I just remember everyone else being really into it and everyone else talking about it to the point where I was like, I need to watch this because I need to know what everyone's talking about. People made so many references to these Marvel movies that I figured just for my cultural literacy, I need to watch them. So I didn't watch everyone, but I did sit down. The Avengers is the big Marvel movie. So I tried to watch all the movies I needed to watch to understand Avengers. Certain movies are better than others. Guardians of the Galaxy, the best to me of the Marvel Universe movies. But I feel like, I don't know, this isn't a movie review channel, but really have gotten absolutely bored with anything Marvel related. And really was bored with what they were doing with DC movies. To me, superhero movies had just gotten so blah. But I watched the new Superman movie, James Gunn's Superman, and I fell in love with it. I thought it was one of the best movies. Went and saw it in a theater. I thought it was one of the best movies I had seen in a long time. It had its own unique tone. It didn't feel like it was made in a corporate boardroom. It felt like it was a movie with a plot and a script, and it was over the top. And one thing I didn't like about the Marvel thing was everything was so interconnected. It was so complicated that I felt like I never knew. I think they would introduce a character that I was like supposed to know who they were, and I wouldn't know who they were. This introduced a lot of characters. There was a lot going on in the movie, but they always just explained it. They're like, oh yeah, there's a kaiju in the city. Yeah, no need for an explanation. Just we're fighting a kaiju now. So I thought that was charming. And I'm watching Peacemaker as well. I love the last season that's still going on. Still one more episode left of Peacemaker. I think. Yeah, I watched it last night, episode 7, and it kind of touches in the same universe, although it has a wildly different tone. So so far I really love everything James Gunn has done with the DC movies, especially the Superman movie. That was my favorite. So I'm looking forward. Hopefully it doesn't all go to crap. Hopefully we can enjoy it for the sequels for years to come. Over here in front of City Hall, you can see the declaration there, Super City. The city, which is the home of the most Superman that has ever lived. and probably the most iconic spot here in Metropolis, the giant towering statue of Superman himself. You can see the pavilion he stands in is actually his logo, the giant S here. And no matter what time of day I show up here, there's always people taking their photos with the giant Superman. This is definitely a must-do when driving through the area, stopping and getting your photo taken with Superman. They even have a special little platform there for photographers to take the perfect picture with Superman. It says, there is a superhero in all of us. We just need the courage to put on the cape. Quote, by Superman, truth, justice, and the American way. It says the statue was put up here in 1993. It was apparently replaced another statue that was only 8 feet tall. This one is actually 15 feet tall. You can see how big it is. You compare it to my my foot here. And I know I'm gushing a bit about this new Superman movie, but it really like kind of touched me. The whole idea of the movie. A lot of the portrayals of Superman, he's perfect. He always does the right thing. He knows what the right thing is. He's the strongest man in the world. He could fly. But I like the new Superman because he's insecure. He is overwhelmed with the idea of being Superman. And it sounds crazy. Like, I shouldn't even be saying this out loud, but I can relate to Superman. There's a kind of theme, and mild spoilers for the movie if you haven't seen it, but there's like a scene where they talk about, he's actually arguing with Lois Lane, and Superman claims that he's punk rock, and Lois laughs and talks about, he's basically a Boy Scout. His taste in music, doesn't even listen to real punk rock music, and but then that later becomes a theme where he says that the reason he's punk rock is, because he does treat people kindly, because he's not cynical, because he gives everyone the benefit of the doubt, that is what makes him truly punk rock. And I don't know, it touched me. It touched me in a way. I am a mild-mannered person. I had this crazy YouTube career take off beyond my wildest dreams. And some people say this is a small channel, and yeah, it is, but it's a bigger channel than I ever thought I'd have. I never thought I'd have a channel at all, and it's just it's an interesting road to navigate when you have you're thrust into something. You have this career, this visibility that you never asked for, never expected, and just to adjust to that, and to and again, it's super silly that I'm comparing myself to Superman, but I'm comparing myself to the James Gunn Superman, the new Superman. I have nothing in common with Henry Cavill Superman, nothing in common with Christopher Reeve's Superman, but I just like the idea of you have this platform, like I have this platform on YouTube that I never thought I would have, and just trying to figure out what the right thing to do is, how to treat people. I think that's a big thing. It's one thing to have a legacy. It's another to have people remember how you treated them. And I don't know. It just, the movie, there's that end scene where Superman is sitting back and watching his parents. It really got a knot in my throat. So I like this movie. You guys might not figure that out, but I'm a huge fan of the new Superman movie. But of course, no stop to Metropolis can be complete without visiting the Super Museum, a museum of all things Superman. And I was wondering, the new movie has just come out recently. It came out July 11th, according to that. If there was going to be anything from the new movie here. And I don't know if they have any props or anything for the new movie, but you can see they have embraced it. You have the new Superman posters here hanging on the side of the Super Museum. and have the original Superman comic, the Action comic, where he picks up the car, but also the new. So we have the first Superman and the current Superman, and then you can put your head behind this cutout, and you could be Superman. We enter here through the gift shop, and yeah, all different versions of Superman. The George Reeve version. There is Crypto the Super Dog. You have the telephone booth on which Superman would change into his costume. I guess he keeps it on and then puts his work clothes over top of it, which seems like it'd be really hot while he's at work at the newspaper. Here's some of the different characters from the new Superman movie. Loved Superman himself, obviously. Also, really like Mr. Terrific. He was a lot of fun. Oh, I heard a siren, and those are some awesome business hours, 8 to 7. Those are some hours I can work with. Here in the gift shop, we have a bunch of Superman right off the bat. There's another one there bursting out of the wall. That's a pretty cool Super Museum shirt. All right, we are headed in. And you can see that Superman, probably one of the most merchandised characters of all time, probably rivals Mickey Mouse in how much merchandise is Superman based. Now it says this brick is from the chimney of the home of Jerry Siegel. Now, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster were the two artists that created Superman. There were two Jewish men from Cleveland, Ohio. So while Metropolis, Illinois is still the home of Superman, Cleveland, Ohio was where the idea of Superman was born. And they actually used Cleveland, Ohio as the stand-in for Metropolis in the new movie. So they have different sections here on different versions of Superman. This is the George Reeves version. I used to always get confused. I always thought George Reeves and Christopher Reeve were somehow related. I just figured it was too much of a coincidence they both played Superman. But no, their names are actually different. It's George Reeves and Christopher Reeve with no S. And they have an amazing collection of Superman suits here. This is the brown and gray suit that George Reeves wore because they filmed it in black and white, so it didn't need to be in color, but it needed to, they do actually have different tints, so to make it show up in the best way possible, they went with brown and gray. There's some other screen used items down in here. Now this outfit here was actually worn by Ben Affleck. I don't know if that was in a particular show or movie, or if this is just his casual wear. I'm trying to think. I know Ben Affleck was Batman. I don't know if he ever did. I don't know if he ever played Superman. I don't think so. It was Daredevil and Batman. Superman keychains. Oh, look at this. This is a wood jointed doll. There's a little super baby. But George Reeves was not the first person to play Superman. I previously had thought he was, but actually Superman was originally played by this man, Kirk Alyn. He was the first live-action Superman, and apparently he actually toured with the museum in this collection. And this is Jim Hambrick. He founded this museum. Sadly, he passed away at the end of last year, but he's the man that created this place, this amazing museum. And here we have the Kirk Alyn suit. Now it is kind of colored similar to the George Reeves suit, although he does have a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow, a little more color there. I guess he was filmed in black and white, so it wasn't completely necessary to have him be in color, but I guess he showed up good this way. It said this kryptonite actually belonged to Kirk Alyn. Now, I was wondering if they would have anything from the new Superman movie. It just came out within the last couple months, but they do. I don't think they have any props, but you can see some merchandise here for the from the new Superman movie. Got the plushy Crypto. Apparently, Crypto is now the mascot for Milk Bones, and some fast food cups there. Drink. Oh, there's a Superman garbage can. You can see the popcorn bucket. This is actually a practical popcorn bucket. Most of the popcorn buckets are actually difficult to get the popcorn in and out of. This is just Crypto holding a bag of popcorn. Here's Superman versus Muhammad Ali. I mean, Muhammad Ali was a great boxer, but I don't believe he was the strongest man in the world. I believe that Superman is literally about to punch his head off. There's like various arcade machines in here. You can see Superman holding back this train. It's like a train that you would ride like outside of a supermarket while you're trying to run over Superman. And this is super nostalgic to me because my grandmother actually has this pinball machine in her basement. It has not worked for probably 30 years, but it's still down there, and I do remember playing it when I was a kid. It was an advertisement for the new movie from Dairy Queen, where you get the Superman cake batter cookie dough blizzard treat. If you eat that, you'll end up as strong as Superman. There's some old arcade machines. I don't know if I've played the Superman from Taito. It says kick and punch are the two buttons. So probably hit like a side-scrolling beat-em-up type game, I would imagine. And there is Doomsday, this giant sculpture of Doomsday. It says, please do not touch Doomsday. He's still sore from the fight. As you see Superman's cape there. Yeah, this was a big deal in the 90s where Doomsday here killed Superman. And like it was in like the mainstream news, the news reports. National news were talking about the death of Superman. Possibly they did not fully realize that in comic books people come back from the dead all the time. But I remember, it was made as like an end. It really talked about like an end of an era type thing, that Superman was gone forever. But here we are in 2025, and Superman is alive and well. See, they actually have a tombstone there for Superman. If I showed every souvenir, every toy, every piece of merch in this museum, it would take me 1 million years. 1 million years to show all the different Supermans there. There he is choking Batman. I always thought, they always say like there's that movie, Superman versus Batman, which is not a good movie. But really, I don't know. It's a mismatch. Everyone wants to see Superman and Batman together or fighting each other, but it's really not a fair fight. I mean, Superman is the strongest man in the world. Batman's he's just a really rich guy. And from what I'm seeing, it seems like Crypto maybe in some ways the star of the new movie. I'm seeing a lot of Crypto merch. I think that's a Lois Lane cutout, Lois Lane without a head. Now, here are some of Henry Cavill's prop. He was Superman up till recently when he was recast. But this is the Clark Kent outfit and his glasses. They don't have the super suit here for Henry Cavill. I don't know, but probably because it was CGI. But we do have Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor prison outfit. A lot of people really hated that Lex Luthor. I actually thought it was, I don't know, I thought it was really different, but I kind of liked the idea of Lex Luthor being like a weird tech bro. And it looks like in here they have the outfits of the evil Kryptonians from Man of Steel. I think for a lot of people, this is their Superman. This is the Christopher Reeve version of the character. This is from the original Superman movie, 1978, with Christopher Reeves. This is young Clark Kent's backpack. And interesting, Clark Kent was played by a different actor than Christopher Reeves. Seems nowadays, when they have a younger version of the character, as long as it's not a child, they'll just have the same actor play it. But back then, they cast this other guy who Looked a lot like Christopher Reeve. And there's Lex Luthor's shirt from Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. These are the boots of Nuclear Man, a villain that was specifically designed for the movie Superman 4, A Quest for Peace. And here's Christopher Reeve's wigs. These are from all 4 Christopher Reeve Superman movies. You can see that iconic curl in the front. Back when my hair was a lot better. I had a little curl in the front like that. And then also this is Marlon Brando's wig from Superman with Christopher Reeve. And here's the Christopher Reeve Clark Kent. It says this camera here. Oh, it's actually a fake camera. It's a foam rubber cannon. It says it was used in the Hoover Dam scene. So I guess it was made out of foam rubber so that it could be dropped as part of the movie without having to smash a Nikon every time you had a take. And here's one of Christopher Reeve's Superman suits. This is from Superman 3. It says this was specifically designed as the flying costume. So the costume that he would wear during the flight scenes. There's the actual flying harness that Christopher Reeve would wear for those flying scenes. Yeah, it looks like it wraps around his stomach and thighs. And it says this astronaut here is from the moon scene in Superman 2 when General Zod and his goons emerge from the Phantom Zone as they attack this astronaut. Tucked over here is Richard Pryor's jacket. Richard Pryor actually played a villain in one of the Superman movies, which seems really strange. And there's a wax figure of Christopher Reeve's Clark Kent. Starting to feel like there's a Superman around every corner. It says, do you remember any of these toys, or was this a little before your time? Yeah, definitely a little before my time, but they're still really cool. Look at that crypto ray gun the little kid could use to disable Superman. This back here is the Supergirl room. The character Supergirl. And there is a new Supergirl. I don't know if I see her anywhere. She shows up at the end of the new movie. Up there is the flying rig used by Helen Slater in 1984 Supergirl. This costume is interesting. It looks like it has dead roaches on the sash. And these are all props from the TV show Smallville that showed Clark Kent growing up. I don't know what this is. There's a really creepy head here. Various props. A prop coconut. And this demon arm here. And is that Baphomet? There's a little flying miniature of Supergirl. Would have been used in the movie. It's a little tiny, like a little G.I. Joe size action figure. I guess they just pushed it through the air and showed her flying from a distance. And then the Lois Lane room. Lois Lane, news reporter, works alongside Clark Kent and has a love triangle with Clark Kent and Superman, who are technically the same person. Looks like these are from the show Lois and Clark with Terry Hatcher. And then this is Superman from Lois and Clark, who was played by Dean Cain. There's some more Terry Hatcher costumes. I guess this is a superhero costume she wore in Lois and Clark. And here is the George Reeve wax figure. These caps here, they were worn by little people that played mole men. Oh, and there's the mole people right there squaring off with Superman. Oh, here is George Reeve's breakaway shirt. So he would have this on, he just pull this off out of his suit, and they would have the Superman suit on underneath. Oh, here's one of Superman's rivals, Mr. Kryptonite. You think that would be one of Superman's worst enemies to have to fight because kryptonite is literally the only thing, his only weakness. And this guy names himself after it. This is another version of George Reeves' super suit. This is, I guess, when they went color. So his Technicolor Superman suit. So under the archway here, there's a ton of Henry Cavill, Man of Steel, Superman merchandise. A lot of it still in its original packaging. Oh, here's like one of the forgotten Superman movies, Superman Returns. Superman that came before Henry Cavill. And over here, we actually have a suit worn by Kevin Spacey's Lex Luthor. Yes, Kevin Spacey was Lex Luthor. And in this display here is all stuff from a television show called Superboy that aired in the late 80s, early 90s. And I've never seen this show, but man, they have some interesting stuff in this display. Yeah, look at this little puppet, little marionette there. Yeah, all sorts of little pieces. I definitely want to visit the Museum of Nuclear Weapons someday. So we have some Superman board games. Any sort of Superman game you would ever hope to play. Oh, there's the VHS collection. Look at the Superman troll. When did Superman have a mullet? Look at that. You can't beat that Superman pinata. And over here they have a memorial to Jim Hambrick, who was the founder of the museum who started this amazing collection. And you can see over here we actually have the urn there with his cremains. Then the Precious Moments Superman. And unlike the Metropolis in the movies, this Metropolis isn't a sprawling metropolis. It is a adorable little small town. And there is Super Big Boy. Very a mashup between Bob's Big Boy and Superman. You know what? I never noticed they have the same curl. Well, you better be careful. It looks like that is a kryptonite burger. And you know what? I wish I was Superman so I could fly the 7 hours back home instead of driving another 7 hours tonight. And we have made it to Tennessee. We have one more state line to cross before we get home. It says Tennessee sounds perfect. I think that's a new slogan. I've never heard that before. Tennessee sounds perfect. I do notice they seem to be playing only Tennessee themed music here at the rest area. They were just playing Walking in Memphis, and now they're playing Rocky Top. I think Dolly Parton's version of Rocky Top, which is the national anthem of Tennessee. One thing I do like about these Tennessee rest areas and welcome centers, you're always greeted by this cardboard cutout of Dolly Parton telling you to come to her shows and to her theme park. Me and Jen have become obsessed with this mascot here from Nobody. The organization is Nobody Trashes Tennessee. Now, they don't say the name of this character on this poster, but me and Jen did some research, and this is Trash Squatch. Trash Squatch. Jen actually found somewhere where he was doing an appearance, but we were unable to make it. So our goal is to one day track down and meet up with Trash Squatch. Another mascot here, Ollie Otter, who apparently is the Tennessee mascot for wearing your seatbelt. And we have landed here in the bunker. And I'm very happy to be home. Happy to be in my own home. A rare occasion that I get to spend home. I am hoping to spend a little more time here this season, this month, this maybe, I don't know. I'm looking into the next year. They're trying to figure out. There's got to be a way to be home a little more than I am right now. And as you can see, it's a disaster in here. The bunker, things have been moved, things have been shoved in bags and boxes. This is like 3 years of stuff put in bags and boxes right here, because I've been traveling so much. The last couple years that everything's just kind of been put off as far as the bunker. Of course, I don't just live in the bunker. I live in the whole house, and Jen's been doing a great job of keeping the house up and decorating, and I feel very at home here, and I'd like to enjoy my home. So we'll see. I've talked about my other video, maybe adjusting my pace, not slowing down the content necessarily, but adjusting how I balance life and work. But thank you guys so much. It's been quite an adventure. It's been a month since I've been here, almost to the day. Maybe no, I think it's pretty much. I think I left September 3rd, and I think it is October 3rd. Yeah, there's all this bare space. All my taxidermies wrapped in plastic bags because they got infected with moths. No, not moths like Mothman there, but like taxidermy eating moths. A few things were lost, but I think I can recover most of it. I'm sorry. I am tired. It's been a long drive. It's been a long week of driving. In fact, it's been a pretty long month of driving, but it's been a great month. We did Halloween in Florida, Halloween Horror Nights in Florida. We did the spooky weekend in Texas with SeaWorld, Six Flags Over Texas, and Six Flags Fiesta Texas, California. Did Horror Nights, Not Scary Farm, I'm sorry, and the Queen Mary. Can't forget the Queen Mary. That was a great experience, being able to stay there during Dark Harbor, and then I had a lot of fun in Las Vegas with visiting my friend Tom Devlin and the haunt that he's put up at the Monster Museum, as well as I got to see my friend Tristan at the Fear Zone in the Adventure Dome at Circus. Got to see the brand new year-round Halloween Horror Nights, the Universal Horror Unleashed in Las Vegas. I think it's been a very productive month, and we've seen a lot of fun stuff in between. Not everything has to be spooky. We've done a lot of fun stuff on the way back. I visited several national parks while I had a chance, because now a lot of national parks are closed because of the government shutdown. Hoping that gets resolved. so I can do some more national park stuff. Got to ride the top of Pikes Peak in a train. That was a big highlight of my trip back. And of course, today we got a chance to stop by the Super Museum on my way back home, the Metropolis, the home of Superman. After my favorite Superman movie, the most recent Superman movie, was released. Do you guys want a tour? Not right now. Would you guys be interested? I'm too tired right now to give a tour. Would you guys be interested in a tour of this bunker? I need to go through some stuff, so yeah, I could go through some stuff and then show you guys a tour. I feel like I used to do bunker tours periodically, but I think it's been a few years since I've given a proper tour of the bunker. If you're interested in that, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video, and let me know what you think about a bunker tour in the near future. If you like these videos, please subscribe. I travel around the country. I film roadside attractions, museums, haunted houses, other fun stuff. If you'd like to help out the channel, consider Patreon. $3 or more. Get you a postcard once a month from me to you. Also, in the souvenir shop, you can buy pressed pennies, enamel pins, motel key fobs, and other fun stuff. And all that goes to help keeping this train on the track, this boat in the water, and this dirigible in the air. Until next time, my friends, this one's in the bag.